It was about 27 years ago that we found out that a local university had some interest in moving this house, the Robert Penn Warren Birthplace. We knew that we could not sit still and do nothing with that facing us.
We had no money, or Guthrie, a small town, had no money to buy. So we had to get some interest going pretty quick. And we managed to raise money for a down payment, and we got the deed transferred. Well, actually the city bought it for us first, and then until we could raise enough money for the down payment, and then the loan was transferred to our committee, and we have over the years, almost 27 years now, we managed to, by grassroots fundraising, to raise the money to pay for it and all the restoration of it, and it's all paid for, and we're so proud of that.
I love when you go to the places and they have the occasions where it's walk where they walked, talk where they talked. Warren was all over this town and this general area. He loved to wander, and he was all over everything. And you can come to Guthrie and walk where he walked and talk where he talked.
We give them a tour of the house and tell them all about everything in every room and what pertains to what he wrote. And in this room particularly, there's not anything, but other than his parents up here. But in the other rooms, there's poetry, and we tell them what that's about, like with Kent Greenfield, his best friend, and there's an exhibit on that. We have all different age groups of school groups come, and even the small elementary all the way up to college. And we always like to tell them when we introduce them in this room to Robert Penn Warren that this man was born in this house in this little bitty town, and here you are living in this little bitty town, and this man rose to the top of his field. And if you really want to work hard, that means that you can too, if you really want to, if you really want something. We now have, for years, we had wanted to have road signs on the interstate, and of course we had no money for that.
We dreamed about it.
Yes, that was very expensive to do that, so we could not afford it. It was a historic occasion when the two governors got together and they put road signs on the interstate for us, and that has been such a boon to our visitors for us. When we dedicated the sign, the historic sign that we got from Kentucky legislature, and Duke Vic Strandberg from Duke University, we asked him to give the dedication, and he was reading the dedication, and all at once one of the members standing out here said, "Look," and it was a red-tailed hawk circling. And we said, oh, well, maybe that's Warren's spirit, because he always wrote
and we
about
get cold chills.
It gave us cold chills.
Everybody gets cold chills. I've got them right now.
That was his spirit, because he always wrote about the red-tailed hawk.
It was Mark Miller that saw the hawk. I can just see Mark looking up, and there's the hawk.
Just circling around over
So we
house.
knew Warren was with us.
That's right, we did. In 2005, the United States Postal Service put out a memorial stamp for Robert Penn Warren, and that would have been the year he would have turned 100 years old, and that was our 20th anniversary of having the house. They had the first day of issue ceremony at Guthrie, and we had to fight for that also, because somebody told him he was born in Bowling Green, which he was not. And so we got the government to change it because his children got involved, and they wanted it to be in Guthrie. And of course we had 700 people in Guthrie that day just to buy the first day of issue stamp.
What I think is so amazing is that we're getting more and more young people.
Yes.
And of course, the book that they've read is All the King's Men. I almost believe that there's a resurgence of All the King's Men. It's amazing that these very young people are so excited to be here. The people in Todd County can go anywhere they want to go, because he did. True Love by Robert Penn Warren. In silence the heart raves. It utters words, meaningless, that never had a meaning. I was 10, skinny, red-headed, freckled, in a big black Buick driven by a big grown boy with a necktie. She sat in front of the drugstore, sipping something through a straw. There is nothing like beauty. It stops your heart. It thickens your blood. It stops your breath. It makes you feel dirty. You need a hot bath. I leaned against a telephone pole and watched. I thought I would die if she saw me. How could I exist in the same world with that brightness? 2 years later, she smiled at me. She named my name. I thought I would wake up dead. Her grown brothers walked with the bent knee swagger of horsemen. They were slick-faced, told jokes in the barbershop, did no work. Their father was what is called a drunkard. Whatever he was, he stayed on the 3rd floor of the big white farmhouse under the maples for 25 years. He never came down. They brought everything up to him. I did not know what a mortgage was. His wife was a good Christian woman and prayed. When the daughter got married, the old man came down wearing an old tailcoat, the pleated shirt yellowing. The sons propped him. I saw the wedding. There were engraved invitations. It was so fashionable. I thought I would cry. I lay in bed that night and wondered if she would cry when something was done to her. The mortgage was foreclosed. That last word was whispered. She never came back. The family sort of drifted off. Nobody wears shiny boots like that now. But I know she is beautiful forever and lives in a beautiful house far away. She called my name once. I didn't even know she